what is up? Welcome to Diggity, a video game podcast. I'm Jeff James, as always, blowing the mic up in your ear holes the first couple seconds into the episode. Episode 209. As a matter of fact, I'm joined with the ever incredible, unobtainable Luscious Brody Fultz. How are you, my friend?
I'm ready for the week to be over. But I'm good.
You good?
Tired. I'm very tired.
Aren't we all tired of this shit? Anyways, if it's the first time listening to the podcast, welcome. Every single week, Brody and myself discuss gaming news from around the interwebs and beyond, and bring it to your incredible eyeballs as well as your incredible ears on the audio version of the podcast. You can listen to us on the audio version every single Friday morning at the butt crack of dawn. That episode is up for you on every single major podcast platform known to man and woman. And every Thursday evening at 9:30 Eastern, which is a superior time zone, you can watch us live on YouTube and catch us also live on Twitch. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Diggity Podcast, and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as our Twitch. And slide on into our DMs if you got any questions also each week, and we'll answer them on the show. I think that was probably the smoothest intro done in a while.
It was smooth. It
was
very smooth.
It was the most radio-like.
Yeah.
Well, welcome. Before we get into kind of what we played for the week, do you have any housekeeping?
Yeah. I've got this sweet WASD and beyond.
Yes, you do. And
T-shirt that I got. I forgot to finish the sentence. I got excited for a second. I got the WASD T-shirt from our boys, obviously over at WASD. And Nick also sent me this big ass book of Brutal Legend
artwork. Incredible.
It's awesome.
That is fucking majestic. And I need
shout out to those guys.
I need to buy myself one for sure because I need to support them. So
I mean, anybody that has listened to us or follows us on Twitter knows that we kind of have a little bit of a bromance with those guys.
No, absolutely.
It's fun.
It's fantastic. It's a good time with those fellas. We'll have to have them on again.
Other than that, I don't have any other housekeeping. Just a shout out to those guys.
Well, it's pretty easy housekeeping.
I
guess housekeeping. I mean, I guess you kind of celebrate the whole mask thing, right? That's neat. We're kind of back to like normal life.
Getting there, yeah.
Getting
slowly.
there. I mean, that's pretty neat. Like,
yeah,
it's been what, 18 months, 19 months.
Yeah, if you've been vaccinated, you don't have to wear one inside of most buildings now.
But it's up to the building, so yeah.
Right.
I don't know. Right. It's gonna be one of those awkward things, right? It's gonna be weird and awkward. But hey, we're slowly getting back to kind of a normal life. So
it already is kind of weird and awkward, like around where I live, because if I go down to Fort Wayne, which is a bigger city, just about everybody still requires masks. Up here, it's like most people don't wear masks in this smaller town, so it's already kind of jarring when you like go from a place that heavily requires it to not really requiring it. It's very bizarre. So. But yeah, I'm excited for normal life again. To be able to see people's mouths is just one of those
ever think you
things.
Ever thought you would say that? Man, I really want to see that person's mouth.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't wait to be able to go like order food and the person doesn't say, "Sorry, sir, what was that?"
As you scream it into a muffled mask.
Queso.
Queso.
It happened to me at Chipotle this week while I was out of town.
Yeah.
So, there we go. Shout out to the great state of Tennessee. Beautiful country out there. Beautiful country.
It is. I love Tennessee.
I had to go through Kentucky to get there.
Yeah. Don't have anything good to say about Kentucky.
No, I don't mind Kentucky. Here's what happened in Kentucky, right? A little off tangent here, but I crossed from Indiana into Kentucky. I'm like 4 miles into Kentucky. I stop at a Love's. All right. There's a line for the restroom. It's like middle of the afternoon. All right. And there's a line for the urinals. So I see the urinals. I see that the shorter urinal is open. Tall guy always gets stuck with the shorter urinal. No one was going to take it. I'm like, fuck it, I'll take it. So I take it. I'm pissing in this thing. Everyone's staring at the wall. As everyone's taking a piss, you just hear... But it wasn't from a stall. It was from somebody standing at a urinal down the way.
Oh, no. Sounds like he went to the wrong facility.
And this wasn't... I mean, you could tell the way this one was by the sound of it. This was not on purpose. This was a grave mistake that this man had made. And
snuck up on him, huh?
I mean, no, this is like, it's not like he definitely soiled himself. I mean, and everyone just had to sit there and stare at a wall while they're taking a piss. You already committed. So you're just standing there. So now I'm like just pissing as hard as I can so I can get out of there. In this tiny little like urinal made for ants.
Good God.
So, yeah, that was my first impression of Kentucky as soon as I came over. And,
that's fitting.
yeah, other than that, I just heard a different language when I was down there and had a good time. Other than that, sweet people. Nice people. The tea is sweet and so are the people. With that, what have you been playing?
I have only played Monster Hunter Rise this entire week. I have played a lot of Monster Rise. I am absolutely hooked. I was actually just scrolling through the PlayStation Store, seeing what was on sale, because I was making sure that I claimed the Horizon Zero Dawn game, because that ends tomorrow, or the day that this comes out live today. But I was making sure I had that, and I saw there were some things on sale, and I have Monster Hunter World on PlayStation because it's one of the PlayStation Plus games that you get collection there.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about buying Iceborne, and I realized that I probably shouldn't do that because I have to play all the way through World again, even though I already beat it on Xbox. So probably not going to do that, and probably just going to keep playing Rise because I can sit in bed and play Rise, and it's wonderful, and I love it, and everything about it is fantastic. What have you been playing?
So, I've been a horrible gamer this week because basically Saturday I spent kind of like packing for when I had to leave. I left Sunday. So I really didn't even really get that much of a weekend. I had to take care of some stuff on Saturday and pack up, and then I was in a really remote part of Tennessee while I was out there, and so it was really hard and difficult to, use anything, to be honest with you. So my goal is this weekend to jump on and tomorrow evening. So I guess today, if you're listening to the audio version podcast, God, always annoying.
So
God, I
much.
always hate that. But goal is to get on there and really play some video games on Friday night as well as Saturday night. Just chill. So I need it. It's been a gauntlet for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. I'm sure you've noticed. I haven't been online.
Yeah.
It's just been. It's
Well,
been
I texted
crazy.
you on Tuesday, I think. And I was like, "Are you alive?"
I'm like, yeah, I'm in Tennessee. I don't have
I hopped
much
on
service.
the PlayStation app and I was like, "Man, I haven't played anything with Jeff for a while." It was like last online, I don't remember how many days ago. I'm like, I think Jeff's dead. I think he's just dead.
I felt it. No, it was just in a super remote part, Tennessee. So, but other than that, yeah, I'm hoping to jump into some stuff this weekend. I guess what do I want to jump into this weekend? I want to jump into a little bit of zombies.
Yeah, we haven't played zombies for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I want to finish up a little bit of God of War on my end. And I think I want to rip some Horizon Zero Dawn. So.
I need to get back into that. I'm just gonna have to take a break from Rise.
Which is going to be impossible for you.
It's gonna be quite hard.
Yeah, it'll be great. All right, you want to hit us with the upcoming game releases?
May 14th, Famicom Detective Club is coming to Switch. Mass Effect Legendary Edition is coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One. Quantum Replica is coming to PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Subnautica is releasing on Switch. Subnautica Below Zero is coming to PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. May 18th, Leisure Suit Larry Wet Dreams Dry Twice is coming to PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Wow. May 19th, Days Gone is coming to PC, Elite Dangerous, Odyssey Expansion is coming to PC, and Never Yield is coming to PC and Switch. And on May 20th, Backworlds is coming to Switch, Grand Casino Tycoon is coming to PC, Just Die Already is coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Lacuna is coming to PC. Mayhem in Single Valley is coming to PC. Of Bird and Cage is coming to PC, and Puzzle Bobble VR Vacation Odyssey is coming to the Oculus Quest.
That was probably the roughest read. Not like you did it really smooth, but like probably the most challenging read we've had in a while.
It was a little tough, yeah.
I'm excited.
Well, granted, we've also had like 4 games released for the past 4 weeks combined, so
That's right. I'm not excited for Leisure Suite Larry Wet Dreams Dry Twice.
No, I'm out.
That's kind of concerning.
I am kind of excited for Mass Effect Legendary Edition, but I'm probably going to wait because I imagine it will come to EA Play at some point, and I get that through Xbox. So I'm probably just gonna hold off and keep working on some backlog stuff and Rise and venture over to this once it finally comes to EA Play. I know that's probably going to offend some people, but I have too many. So that wasn't the best way to do it. But I do want to play these games again, and really, really would love to see if these games still hold up, or if it's some rose-colored glasses type of thing.
Yeah. It also looks like Leisure Suite Larry that they've changed his design. Like I don't really understand it. It's like almost kind of like a Flash game now, and it's bad. I mean, it's not good.
Great.
I'm sharing my screen right now. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I
Okay,
remember.
we're gonna click off that one.
Way to go.
Woof. Yeah, this is odd. I also really did not expect a game like this to come out in today's climate.
No, not at all.
I feel like that's a death wish.
It's not great. It's certainly not great.
I think that, yeah. It looks like you build different things, like you build ships and stuff, and there seems to be a compelling story to it, is what it says. And then there's just things that are shaped like dicks, like everywhere.
God. I remember when this was announced. I thought this was already out. I entirely forgot it hadn't released yet. And I would have been okay if it didn't release. I don't know why this is a thing, especially nowadays.
Yeah, this is a...
I mean, it shouldn't have been a thing when it originally released, but here we are.
Yeah. May I bring to everyone a new segment of our show, Delay of the Week. Delay! Ubisoft has delayed Skull and Bones again, and they are pursuing a new direction with the game. This in game development talks is this shit canceled. This shit canceled.
It's fucked.
And we're redoing the whole thing. The news was announced during the company's most recent earnings call, and the game is now set to release sometime in late 2022 or early 2023. I'm sure it'll be renamed. I'm sure it won't be Skull and Bones. Maybe it's the Leisure Suite Larry. Wet Dreams Dry Thrice. Who knows? I have no idea. But that is your delay of the week. Brought to you by us.
I have zero hope for Skull and Bones. It has been delayed since we've been doing this show multiple times now.
Yeah.
This
game's a real sinking ship.
God.
Ooh! Got it. Nailed it. Live for it.
Oh, I hate you so much.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
No. Yeah, I just really don't think that this is going to... I think it will release, and nobody's going to give a shit, quite frankly. It's been delayed so many times at this point. I think most people have given up any hope that this is going to come out in a playable state.
Yeah, they clearly have no idea like where they want to steer this at all, so they just decided to put the anchor down on this one.
Okay. Worst part is, if somebody were to guess, they would assume you're the dad out of this. No, I'm the dad here, and I don't even bring the dad jokes.
Oh, dude, I live for those jokes, man. I live for them. They put the wind in my sails. All right, you got the next piece of news.
Yep. EA Play Live will return, but not at E3. So the official Twitter account of EA tweeted, EA Play Live is coming back July 22nd. Save the date. That's all it said. So the big thing here is obviously going to be Battlefield 6 that everybody's kind of waiting for.
And a new Burnout, dude.
I mean, I'd actually be okay with the new Burnout.
Yeah,
Burnout's great.
Too.
Peggle. Yeah, other than that, they're going to show off how you can now see the sweat dripping off of Mahomes' brow.
But you can't like because you're way away, and the flags still all move in the same direction.
Flags are rigid as shit.
The pieces of cardboard.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm surprised that they're not going to be showing it off at E3 because that's typically when they do it. I mean, it has been a separate part. It hasn't technically been a part of E3, but it always happens like the kickoff of E3. But pushing it back to July 22nd isn't ideal, and we'll kind of talk a little bit about Battlefield later. But I mean, that's going to be the big heavy hitter this year. I mean, for all the people that are big sports game fans, you're probably getting another one. I mean, it's going to look about the same as last year, and they're going to forget to change it from Madden 19 yet again, and it's going to say Madden 19 up in the top of the stands instead of saying Madden 22. So
God, I hope they continue the compelling campaign story. You can't go out there, Jimmy. Why? You've got a fucking heart condition. Are you crazy? Don't tell Coach. 1 minute later, tells Coach. Whole story. Hey, you've been drafted. Wow. God, that was awful. Yeah, hopefully they fix the bugs. They won't.
They won't. They absolutely won't.
Speaking of NFL, the first game for the Indianapolis Colts, which we both do enjoy that team.
Yeah.
Happens to be the Seahawks, and I will be attending September 12th, the Seahawks versus Colts. I have not got my tickets yet, but I will absolutely be going to see Danger Daddy Russell. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You guys almost did not have, but yeah.
We got him now.
Lock him down.
He's staying.
Danger Daddy Russell. God, I hate that.
God, I hate it. Oh, God. Resident Evil Village has hit a few big milestones. So the game shipped 3 million units globally over launch weekend and is now the third biggest PS5 launch so far. So congrats to that team. Village also became the first Resident Evil game to hit 100,000 concurrent players on Steam. So Resident Evil IP is alive and well. No pun intended. I didn't mean that one. I don't mean to fill this with dad jokes everywhere. I literally it's part of me. I can't. It just comes. It's natural. It's all natural.
Oh man. Yeah, we've talked about it plenty of times. We're not Resident Evil people. We're not horror game people at all. But this is fantastic. And I think the recent releases of Resident Evil 2 Remake and Resident Evil 3 Remake have been very, very beneficial. Well, yeah, 3 released, didn't it? Boy, I don't remember now.
Well, we're not Resident Evil people.
Yeah.
So clearly. It doesn't matter.
As soon as it left my lips, I second. Sorry. But anyway, they've been kind of keeping up with it even in between Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8 or Resident Evil Village now.
Yeah.
So I mean that hype train has been going and just keeps on gaining steam here, and it's doing great.
Hey, I see what you did there.
Good for them. I didn't even mean to.
No, you did. Damn though.
Oh, the dad joke episode. Here we are. But yeah, good for them. There will be a 35th anniversary stream for Dragon Quest on May 26th. So this will be the first time in Dragon Quest history that a stream will have a live interpretation from Japanese during the stream, so that international fans can watch the stream while it is happening, and rather than waiting for a translation later. One statement that does stand out from this announcement, and again, this has been translated from Japanese, so it is a little awkward translation, but it says information and latest titles will be revealed. So it sounds like we're going to be getting an announcement for probably another Dragon Quest game or a spin-off or something, which, I mean, obviously Dragon Quest XI has sold exceptionally well over West, which normally Dragon Quest games don't do all that well, but Dragon Quest XI has done great and people adore that game, and I have it, and from what I've played of it, it's fantastic as well. So it's good to see this. I mean, it's a very, very classic JRPG, and to see this getting love over in the West rather than, being pretty much popular in Japan, and that was about it, is great. And I hope they continue to make these games and release them to the West, because there was a ton of them there for a while that weren't actually released over here. And granted, at this point, I don't see why they wouldn't, but I'm interested to see what they have, and hopefully it is a new title.
Yeah, I imagine they're gonna probably do the probably like an onslaught of stuff where like all of their stuff becomes available on Switch. You know what I mean? Kind of like when Final Fantasy was celebrating its stuff.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
And then we'll have to read it out like, hey, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, different Dragon Quest available. Nick also just pointed out, did you guys see the video of Gabe Newell talking at some school? He was asked about Valve games being brought over to consoles, and he said we'll know more at the end of summer. That's interesting. Jesus.
Nice. Yeah, awesome. I do remember that kind of coming up. I don't think we brought it up at any point just because it was a very one-off statement and not really much to add to it. But yeah, Valve games coming hopefully this summer, or being announced this summer at least.
I don't know. So. They always say they're gonna do stuff and then they don't do it.
Well, yeah. So, there's that as well.
Brody, our prayers have been answered.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, PlayStation has announced 2 new DualSense controller colors.
Yes.
And they are sexy as could be. We got Midnight Black and we've got Cosmic Red. What do you think about these things?
I adore both of them, and I wish I wouldn't have bought a second normal white DualSense, and really would love to get my hands on one of these, and I might anyway. I don't know. We'll see. I can still buy one. I have like 8 Xbox controllers, so I might as well have a handful of DualSense as well. But I really, really like the Cosmic Red. At first, I was kind of leaning towards the Midnight Black, because it looks like it's like a real matte black almost, mixed with some gray and such. But that Cosmic Red is very, very sharp.
Yo, I love the Cosmic Red. I will be purchasing the Cosmic Red. It looks so good. I like how it's like a matte, like a flat matte finish. Almost kind of looks like a metal. You know what I mean? Like a brushed metal, kind of, in some fashion.
Yeah, it almost looks like it is like an aluminum or
something
that's of that nature.
Aluminum. Yeah. No,
it looks cool, man.
I'm super
I do kind of wish that they would have changed the lights. I do kind of wish they weren't blue. It looks fine on the black, but it is a little kind of off-putting on the red, but it's really not that big of a deal. And I think they said they're dim too. I think they're less bright than the typical DualSense, but I'm not 100% on that.
Really?
Yeah, I think that was by design, so they didn't stand out. I think it was just because of the color scheme.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
But I'm not 100% on that.
So. My big thing too on it is like I really want to. I would have liked to see them do like kind of like a black and white version where like they inverted. So like on the, let me see if I can grab my controller.
White on that bottom part.
What was white would be black, and what was black would be white.
Even on the triggers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Be kind of dope, you know.
White triggers sound like a nightmare though.
Well, everyone else says their Cheeto hands get these dirty, right? So.
Right.
But yeah, I would have definitely liked to see like a
Yeah,
I get the whole, you want just a black controller because, like, PS4 users are used to that. But
yeah, I think these are even nicer looking than just a standard black, though. I mean, like that midnight black looks like that matte black finish on it. It just has a really like nice
it's
premium look
stealthy
to it.
looking, man.
Yeah,
That's for sure. It is stealthy looking. Yeah, I'm
it sure
stoked
is.
to get one of the red ones. I'm sure they'll all sell out in like 2 seconds. It'd be great, just like the
Yeah.
systems. It'd be wonderful.
Hopefully, we start to see more of these controllers come out too. I'd like
I
to see
I
a
really want to
lot
see a
more colors
camo.
and
I want to see a
yeah.
camo one. I want to see a blue.
I had a green camo one that I had on my PS4,
Yeah.
and that was like my go-to. I like having one controller that stands out quite a bit, and that one's mine. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because I've got like the
This is my
on
controller.
Xbox, I've got like the Phantom White one, which is pretty cool. I really like that, but I have a handful of different Xbox controllers that I bought over time, but I think I might end up picking one up, and
I
if nothing else,
really,
I'll use it on PC. So
I want to see like a purple one.
I I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I want to see like a purple one. I want to see some licensed stuff too. There's a lot of like space on this
Oh,
controller.
if there's a God of War one,
Yeah, like gold with red or
oh,
yellow with red, you know what I mean? Something like that. But like, I mean,
yeah,
like, there's a lot of. Also, I want to see like some screen print style stuff as well as some graphics. There's a lot of real estate on this to work with, like between the
yeah,
touch pad and then also just the sides here. There's a lot of room where you can actually see
yeah.
things. So
There's a lot of times when PlayStation does their like limited controllers and stuff like that, they usually come with consoles. They're like a special
yeah,
edition console. But I would really love if they did like, kind of what Nintendo's been doing. Surprisingly enough, Nintendo's actually killing this. They have like the Monster Hunter Rise Pro controller. It looks awesome. Like
yeah,
that's really really cool. Now if they would do that and you can buy it separate, it doesn't have to come with the console. Now as far as for like the DualSense, PlayStation could easily, do a God of War controller when it came out or they could have done one for Spider-Man, but that's so early on in the console generation. I I'm not surprised they didn't.
yeah.
But they could have done one for Miles Morales or something like that. That would have been really cool too. Or even like Demon Souls. I mean, a bunch of these big heavy hitter games could really make some awesome controllers.
Yeah, I really want to see what they can pull off the next little bit because I think they're gonna. I think they're a different PlayStation in a good way, in like the best ways
Yeah,
possible. To be honest
I
with
think
you,
so too. I think they're definitely on the right track to do a lot of good things this generation. So
fantastic.
Scarlet Nexus will be launching a demo first on Xbox, which will be on May 21st. PlayStation will also be receiving this demo a week later on May 28th, but there is currently not a release date for a PC demo. This is a game I'm really looking forward to, and I really want to try the demo because it's a game that looks really good, but I do tend to run into issues with some of these Bandai Namco like anime games where they
Yeah,
don't look nearly as good when you go to play them, and they look fantastic in the trailers and stuff like that.
yeah. They're usually kind of like not smooth.
They're Yeah, they're very jagged.
Yeah.
And that was my main problem with Code Vein. Like it looked bad. So I really do want to jump into this and give this a go. I don't know if I'll wait until it just comes to PlayStation, but I'll probably play it on Xbox just so I can talk about it on the show. But the game looks cool. This is one of those games that I'm really looking forward to this year. But like I said, the demo will be quite telling, I assume.
Sweet. We got a Sony Play at Home 2021 update. So starting May 17th and running until June 6th, there will be a free in-game content for the following games: Rocket League, Brawlhalla, Destruction All-Stars, MLB The Show 21, NBA 2K21, Rogue Company, World of Tanks, World of Warships, and Warframe. And starting May 20th and running until June 6th, you will also be able to get 5 double XP tokens for Call of Duty Warzone. So great benefits to those who have PlayStation. I'm sure we'll know more as time goes on about what is coming to each one of these things, and what you're going to get. So.
Yeah, they did announce what you're gonna get. I just didn't put it in
Oh,
here
and
'cause,
all of them? Oh shit. Okay.
yeah, there was quite a bit, so I didn't I didn't want to throw it in here and bog up the show or anything, but if you wanted to pull up a list, you can. But
Yeah, look it up.
I saw a lot of people kind of complaining about this, which I found strange, and I think it was more of just the order that we got things, because we started off with, you know, a bunch of free games, and then we got more free games and Horizon Zero Dawn, and then to kind of somewhat wrap this up is now the, you know, free things in a lot of free to play games too. I mean, MLB The Show and NBA 2K are the only paid games in this list. And I think it's great because this is not anything that Sony had to do by any means. I think this is fantastic. I mean, granted, I play a lot of Rocket League, so I'll definitely hop in and grab those wheels, even though I predominantly play on PC anymore. But I'll still be able to claim those wheels. Other than that, I've heard good things about Rogue Company. Never tried it, but I'd probably give it a go. But I mean, it's free stuff. It's stuff that Sony didn't have to do. And it's cool to see.
So the breakdown and stuff like this, I'll go pretty quick on it. So for Rocket League, you're going to get the PlayStation Plus pack, which includes 4 unique customization items, including blue notch wheels, blue smoke boost, blue rocks trail, and the trim packed BL player banner. Okay.
Okay.
For Brawlhalla, you get a play-at-home pack. Includes the Rayman Legend unlock, Sir Raylot skin with axe and gauntlet weapon skins, and Shrug emote and Grim sidekick. Destruction All-Stars, you get 1,100 destruction points. I don't know that many people that are still playing Destruction All-Stars.
I don't think I know anybody that is.
Might get people into it. I highly doubt it. But MLB The Show 21, you get 10 The Show packs. So they're cards, baseball cards for your fantasy team. NBA 2K21 includes My Team Series 2 Amethyst Damian Lillard, 5,000 My Team points and more. That's kind of cool. Rogue Company, you're going to get the includes a Kyoto undercover Ronin outfit and 200 Rogue Bucks. World of Tanks / World of Warships, so it's interchangeable. Twice the Courage pack for World of Tanks, Modern Armor. You get 5 1.5 silver boosters, 5 double XP boosters, 7 days of premium account, and more. And for World of Warships, you get 7 days of premium account and a 5x rare booster of all 5 types. And for Warframe, you get the Warframe starter bundle, which includes 100 platinum, 100,000 credits, 7-day affinity booster, essential base damage, mod bundle, and more. So, great. And then Warzone 5 double XP tokens available from May 20th. At 10 a.m. Pacific to good Lord. What is this? What is this? No, it says 5 XP tokens available for May 20th at 10 a.m. Pacific to 1800 British Standard Time. Is that what it is? May 21st. Is it just the one? This is what is going on here.
Go scroll up a little bit. Scroll up. I believe
starting May 20th, as part of your play at home campaign, you get 5 60-minute double XP tokens for Call of Duty Warzone to accelerate your leveling in Season 3. The double XP tokens can be accessed exclusively in-game through the message of the day beginning May 20th to
June 6th.
Oh, through June 6th at 11 p.m. At 11:59 p.m. Okay. So
they must have had a typo or something in the little rundown there.
Confusing. Well, there you go. Clarify that one for you.
Yeah.
Confusing, but we clarified that one for you.
I knew I read June 6th somewhere, and it was from the official PlayStation blog.
Yeah.
I just went off of the actual paragraph there. So
so jump on in and get that stuff.
Yeah. Cool stuff. Sega is considering rebooting some beloved classics. So according to financial results, Sega is contemplating the idea of rebooting Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio, as well as some other IPs that have been gathering dust, all while developing what they have dubbed a super game. During this presentation, Sega also mentioned an FPS title that is in development, but no other details were revealed. There's some speculation that it could be a few different games at this point, but we won't really know until Sega actually just comes out and announces it. But Sega making a FPS is kind of interesting. In a recent interview with Famitsu, Sega stated that Yakuza 7 was the most successful title in the franchise worldwide, and that they want to globally expand Atlas games, which means releases would be available simultaneously worldwide, which they usually aren't. They're usually separated by almost a year, and that they may also be coming to multiple platforms, which again is
Good.
not something that a lot of these have done. Atlas makes Persona, and I guess Yakuza as well, and
How would
Yakuza 7 had a timed exclusive on Xbox, and then Persona has been entirely exclusive to PlayStation.
PlayStation.
So
Yeah. How would they? How would a Crazy Taxi hold up? Like, how would they do that? Because it wouldn't hold up now.
I don't know, and they would definitely have to make some changes there. But that is kind of weird.
Same with Jet Set
how
Radio.
that was all set up, they had like a list of dormant IPs essentially, and some of the big heavy hitters that people love are Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio.
Yeah. Jet
They
Set
had a
Radio, I
few other
think, would
ones in
have
there.
more love than Crazy Taxi, to be honest with you.
I've seen a lot of love for Crazy Taxi on
I just
on
don't-
Reddit at least.
I mean, I
but-
guess what they should do is, if they want to milk the most out of this, they could do easily a remaster.
yeah,
Because it'd be a pretty quick game to make.
yeah,
I mean, it's a
it'd be
super
pretty easy to
arcadey game.
remaster real
And then
quickly.
maybe they can make one that's like super involved, you know? And then the Jet Set Radio, I mean, I guess the same thing. Like, I don't know how you would really. I mean, I guess you could go like the Tony Hawk route with it, maybe? More?
Yeah, to some extent, but I feel like that would even be harder to bring back than Tony Hawk.
Games like that are kind of dead.
Yeah,
Like,
and I
it's
think
like
they would
people have
probably
evolved.
get. Yeah, and I think it would get. I think it would probably sell pretty well.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I agree. I
But
just don't think people
again,
play
it would
that
be
long.
one of those things, almost like Crash Team Racing, where people were super excited they got it, and then you never hear anybody talk about it again.
No, it's just people bought it for nostalgia purposes. They play like 2 hours of it and then they never touch it, which is fine.
That's
I mean, you've
exactly
purchased
what
it.
I did.
Right, yeah. I mean, which is fine, right? You've purchased it, so no big deal, right? They're happy, the company's happy, but at the same time, also, you're kind of like, do we really need this?
Yeah.
So,
Meanwhile, I mean, I put a ton of time into Tony Hawk.
you know what this means, right? We're just gonna get Sonic Racing with Danica Patrick in it again.
That's not. Yeah, they've had some Sonic Racing games relatively recent. They had one that released on Switch. know
Sonic.
that.
What's the one where
Because-
they were snowboarding or they were on like space boards or something like that? Remember that?
Oh, I don't remember.
Ooh, let me see.
Oh yeah, I do remember. It was Sonic? Was that
Oh my
Sonic?
God, there's so many. God, Free Riders.
Wasn't it
Sonic
Riders,
Free
okay.
Riders 2010.
Oh my gosh.
Sonic Colors, Sonic Generations. Oh my God.
It's nuts. So many Sonic games.
Sonic Forces.
Yeah. So I didn't realize I owned that, and it is on my PlayStation, and the kids have played it. They downloaded it from my library. It must have been a free game one month, and I
Free
didn't even
Riders?
remember claiming. No, Forces.
Oh, Forces? Oof.
Yeah, they've played it a couple times. You get to create your own hedgehog character in that game. I was
Sure.
like, this is insane.
Yeah. Well, good for them, though, realizing that they've got other IP than just Sonic. I mean, everyone knows my thoughts on Sonic, but
Yeah. I mean, and most of their other IPs have been coming through Atlas, like your Yakuza games and your Persona games and things like that. So Atlas has been killing it. But yeah, the fact that they've kind of neglected the West has been kind of bizarre, but it'll be awesome to be getting Persona games, the same time as Japan and such.
Brody, to top it off, Sonic Free Riders was also a Connect game.
Oh,
Double down, baby.
that sounds awful.
Features. Xbox got an update, and they got the beautiful May update. So here's the rundown on it. Okay, so we got quick resume improvements. So they improved the reliability of this, meaning it works. We got faster load times, which is good because that's what it means.
Means it
quick
works
resume.
faster.
Yeah. A new grouping feature that allows you to organize all of your quick resume games in one place. Pass-through audio has now been added to help those people that use media apps to control their external sound systems, which is great. And you can now watch trailers in the Game Pass hub. There is a new dynamic background available, new parental control features that allow you to approve specific multiplayer games for kids that may be locked by default, which is kind of nice, so that you don't have to. I think a lot of parents don't use stuff like that because of it's a pain in the ass in some cases.
Yeah, and it is a giant pain in the ass because I have messed around with it quite a few times, and this right here is a godsend because it was
it
one of
sends
those
something to
things.
your phone, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sends something to your phone, but so like if I'm at work and they want to play something, it would send something to my phone and I would have to approve it before they could play it, and I would have to approve it every time. You couldn't set it to remember that, if I remember correctly. There was something about it that was a giant pain, so I kind of I have it to where I have downloaded the games they're allowed to play on the Xbox because I don't play on the Xbox anymore, and that's just the way it works. So they only have access to the games that I have
so
downloaded.
All you can play is Grand Theft Auto 5 and Leisure Suite.
Right. I don't know what the big deal is. No, but that was kind of our workaround for it, was just since I'm not using it anymore, it's their Xbox and it just has their games, and in order to download anything, they have to go through me. So, but yeah, and that's a godsend for sure.
There's also a new feature that is available for Xbox insiders that will do speech-to-text transcriptions for party chat. So when you can't hear anybody in audio, you can at least see their screams and rage transcribed for you.
Yep.
So,
perfect.
It's interesting. Like,
I mean, it's only party chat though, at least, so it's not like you're just getting it in online games.
Could you imagine? I also
that'd be rough.
I also don't know if it's really that good. You know what I mean? Like these transcription things are like a YouTube video where they have automated, closed captioning. Good God, it's terrible.
It's not ideal.
No. A lot of these things though, too. Like, I mean, some of these, it always kind of amazes me, and PlayStation's guilty of it too, where there's just stuff that you're like, that should have like been in there already because it already has function in another screen or another, section of the UI. Like you can now watch trailers in the Game Pass hub.
I always thought that was strange.
Like,
because
why is that not a thing?
Yeah, there's small like indie games or things that I hadn't really looked into much, and I wanted to watch the trailer on them before I downloaded them. But you can't watch the trailer there, and that's bad exposure for these games to actually get downloaded because people aren't going to know what they are. That was one that really caught my eye too. That was just kind of bizarre and should have been there from the get go.
It's just like they don't catch stuff like that, and they put it in, and then it's like, I mean, it takes a while for these updates.
Yeah,
like a while. But yeah, other than that, Sony, if you could please take note about the fact that there's a new dynamic background available, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because it'd be nice to have some dynamic backgrounds, but we'll never get it. We'll never get it. It's over.
Yeah. Like I said, this parental control feature thing's great because there's a lot of people who just don't parent their kids and would rather just put the parental control on, or maybe not even do that. But I think it's very important you limit what your kids play so they aren't sitting there playing GTA. I mean, we've talked about it many of times, but this is one of those things.
Why would you play GTA 5? GTA 4 is clearly superior.
Right. But yeah, I ran into it because the kids play Fortnite, so I had to figure my work around into that, and it was a nightmare. It was awful because I don't think you can play online games unless it's a teen account, and so you have to approve it, and then once you can approve it, you can still mute everything through Epic's version of parental controls too. So there was like 2 layers of parental controls, and it was just, and then Epic doesn't allow you to only talk to friends. You either have party chat on or off, and no like only friends type of, it's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare, and I understand why some people just don't deal with it, but you gotta deal with it. It's anyway. Battlefield 6 will release on both current and last-gen consoles. And when I say current, I do mean the PS5 and the Xbox Series X or Series S. This information comes from EA's earnings call from this week. CEO Andrew Wilson says Battlefield will be available for both current gen and next gen, as will our sports titles. The reference specifically from our prepared remarks was around the nature of gameplay, what we can do with the fidelity of the game, what we can do with the physics, artificial intelligence, and immersive nature of the game. And in the case of Battlefield, what we can do with respect to the amount of players that we can have in game and the nature of destruction and those all new Battlefield moments that all are truly next gen opportunities that we are able to do in the context of our next gen franchises because of the I can't talk tonight, man. Because of the increased processing power and memory and output of the new consoles. Granted, it was a fucking run-on sentence.
It was a pretty rough one. It was the old classic earnings call. Well,
yeah. But yeah, I can't read anything tonight. My normal talking is okay, but reading is rough. I don't know if this is the best idea. I understand why they do it because they're going to make a ton of money off of this by selling it on last-gen consoles, but
we're going to buy it.
Kind of sucks for the overall experience. Yeah, we'll buy it. Because, they're claiming they can do a lot of these things, but this is also the CEO who probably doesn't actually develop games and probably doesn't know what that entails or what he actually even means by what he's saying right there. Also, to note here, this game is actually going to be revealed over the next month, and more information will come this summer. So obviously,
I can't wait.
This is May right now, so there will be some sort of Battlefield announcement in June, before the state or the EA Play Live in July. So I'm excited to see what this is going to be.
Which means EA Play should have a much more in depth.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. I am
totally.
Because I think with Battlefield 5,
give me modern.
When they announced Battlefield 5, they did a deep rundown that day. Because I remember they did
a whole thing on it. It was wild.
Yeah,
they
it was a lot.
Way into it.
So
I
think this will be good to just announce this hopefully very modern Battlefield, and then during their EA Play Live, go deep into it and kind of do that.
Do you think we're gonna get modern, or do you think we're gonna get Vietnam, or do you think we're gonna get something where you can kind of mix it up and you play between different stuff? So you get a Vietnam era map with the characters and the tanks and different stuff like that. You get
that'd be a
World
nightmare
War
to do that, though. From a progression standpoint, trying to unlock things for weapons, and you can only play on a set of maps. That'd be awful. I think I really hope this is going to be modern.
I really hope so too. I just think that they're probably going to do something different.
The last two games have been World War I and World War II.
Yeah.
So
World War II-ish, because some of the stuff in it wasn't very historically correct.
So it would make sense to go back to a modern. We haven't had modern since the launch of the Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
And everyone's clamoring for it. Everyone wants to use drones and cool shit.
I think they fucked up by making Battlefield 5 and not doing a modern Battlefield.
I agree.
I think they absolutely should have done a modern Battlefield in between, because it's too long in between. It's been eight years almost since the last modern Battlefield was launched. And we went back and
played it.
Yeah.
And it was okay.
It's great. Yeah. There's a lot of tryhards in it now, but
yeah, there are. It's crazy.
Ooh, it was awfully sweaty in those lobbies.
It was. Moving on, Ubisoft is switching up their traditional release pattern. So the company is claiming to focus more on high-end free-to-play games rather than their typical 3 or 4 AAA games each and every year. This news also comes from the most recent earnings call, where Ubisoft's CFO, Frederic Duguet, said, or Duguet, I don't know. It's Ubisoft, so they're, Montreal. So, in line with the evolution of our high quality lineup that is increasingly diverse, we are moving on from our prior comment regarding releasing 3 to 4 premium AAAs per year. It is indeed no longer a proper indication of our value creation dynamics. Suck on that fucking word. Or those 3 words. That's a sweet business term. Or value creation dynamics.
Oh.
Prestige worldwide. For example, our expectation for Just Dance and Riders Republic are consistent with some of the industry's AAA performers. Additionally, we are building high-end free-to-play games to be trending towards AAA ambitions over the long term, he added. This is purely a financial communication evolution and doesn't change the fact that we continue to expect a high cadence of content delivery, including powerful premium and free-to-play new releases. It sounds like they're going to make stuff free to play, and then they're going to make money off of it while they develop the game in a free to play state, and then they're going to turn it into AAA and sell it.
Yeah, it does kind of sound like that.
So either we're going to pay for the development of the game.
Yeah,
and then we're going to buy it again.
They're not changing much of anything, even though then they're just gonna rely on these
value
free-to-play games to just bring in more
dynamics,
money.
Baby. It's all about that VCD.
It was just a real blowhard of a fucking paragraph, is what it was.
It was. He cracked the thesaurus out for this one.
Oh yeah, it's things like this that you're just speak in layman's terms. Like this is insane. There's no reason for this. I understand it's your typical earnings call bullshit, right? But God, it's incredible how they were able to say so much in that paragraph, but also so little.
In French, it's very connerie. Means bullshit.
Yeah. I don't foresee Ubisoft doing much to change up much of anything because they've changed up a little bit here and there, but I do not foresee them doing much here. I think rely on these.
They've got an interesting strategy. You know, they've got the AAAs like the Assassin's Creed and stuff like that, right? They're going to continue making stuff like that. They've seen a massive, gain revenue wise from stuff like how is this name escaping me? This is ridiculous. Oh, there's SWAT team shit game where you're in a house.
Oh, Rainbow Siege.
Rainbow Siege. Good Lord. Siege has done unbelievable for them. Siege going into a free-to-play model is just a great idea in that essence. Yeah. They're seeing shit like you look at like a Destiny, right? And if you like reverse everything, right, that model where, hey, I can make a free-to-play game I can put out there, I can build a community up, add updates and update things, and then maybe, then I make a second version of it, a whatever 2, and that's the paid version. I've paid for my development along the way to a certain extent, right? You obviously have the first iteration, and then I can get people again on the full purchase of the game. So I think it's interesting. It's an interesting concept. And I think that's what's going to happen. Well, will people enjoy that? I don't know. People bitch all the time in this industry, but then they keep buying stuff.
I think that will be very poorly received, and if they actually think that's going to work,
that's what I dissect from it.
With what the audience actually wants.
That's what I dissect from it, because what I take from this statement on their shareholder call is that, hey, we don't really know how we could make 3 to 4 premium AAAs a year. It's not fucking possible. It wasn't possible when we were in studio. It's not possible when we're remote now in this function, especially right now for Ubisoft, which, Montreal, Canada, Toronto, there's a lot of problems there right now with people in lockdown still. And so that's going to be like that for a couple months. And then, it's just not a doable thing. And it also limits you on revenue down to 3 distinct moments throughout the year versus you can do free to play, garnish those users, build them up into it off these IPs in a free to play method. And like I said, get development paid for and then do the release and get that big bang too on that date.
See, and the way I actually take this, I take it a little bit differently. I'm reading it as they're going to be free to play games that it says trending towards AAA ambitions over the long term. So the way I read that is that it is going to be free to play games that aren't going to make a ton of money all at once like a AAA game
Yeah.
would be, but are more of a long revenue to continually bring in money for the studio versus a big burst of money at launch and then
Yeah, yeah,
nothing in
that's kind of what I'm
between.
saying. Yeah, like I think it would
Yeah,
be
but I
like,
don't think it's going to be like something that's going to turn into a AAA game. I think it's just going to supply the same revenue over an extended period of time
yeah,
instead.
yeah.
That's the way I kind of understood it. But
What I'm confused by in here is that our expectations for Just Dance and Riders Republic are consistent with some of the industry's AAA performers. Does that mean that those are both going to be AAA titles, or are those going to be free to play? That
I don't
confuses
know.
me.
Yeah.
I really think Just Dance should have been free to play for the longest time because people would buy the packs for songs, and you're done. Whatever. Who gives a
Right.
shit, right? Just like people buy the DLC, just make one version and that's it. But yeah, like that, because the comment is, for example, our expectations for Just Dance and Riders Republic are consistent with some of the industry's AAA performers. Additionally,
But
we're
that's before
building
they ever
high-end
even
free-to-play
mentioned
games.
free to play, though. They didn't mention free
Yeah,
to
that's
play until the
true.
next sentence. So I would assume there's still going to be normal AAA launch titles, which I'm excited for Riders Republic, but I also think it probably would have worked pretty well as a free to play game or
I
a
am
cheaper game.
cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, or even just a cheaper game, like a $30 game, and then have some sort of like some various
Like a
microtransactions.
halfway there
Which,
game where it's like, hey,
yeah,
you've got, hours and hours of content here. If you want to buy the season pass, and you get the DLC for the next 2 years or a year. I agree with
right.
that. I completely agree with that.
I think that is a game that would work well in. I think you could
Yeah,
easily do
for
that to where
sure.
it is.
All the tracks. Oh my god.
Yeah, and buy a season pass, add tracks, and things like that, and then yeah, like you said, for a year or 2 years, you get all of those tracks. I mean, I know a lot of people are against microtransactions, but in a situation like that, I think it's a pretty good deal. I think
So
that would work well as long as they could prove they would be adding tracks like they should.
I don't know if people have looked at this, but on the Riders Republic site, you can
Hmm.
pre-order the standard edition for PS5, but you can't pre-order the gold, ultimate, or the Ubisoft Plus edition of
That's
it.
interesting.
So you just get the game with the year one pass, increase the madness and shelf with Riders. No one's talking about this. It's crazy. With Riders Republic year one pass, receive 8 exotic kits, unlocking throughout the year, starting with the Rocket Bike and Rocket Skis day one. The year one pass also includes the BMX Sport add-on coming to Riders Republic after launch. Plus, enjoy 7 days of early access to all exotic kits. So they're doing the bikes and shit. They're not doing the tracks. The gold edition.
Which I think is actually probably a pretty good idea too, as long as they aren't a pay to win item. That's gonna cause a shitstorm if they do
Yeah,
that.
so the year one pass is just a battle pass DLC shit. Gold edition comes. What's crazy is it doesn't tell you what's in the gold edition for the other ones. The standard edition has the drop downs though for each one. I think they fucked up. So gold edition includes the game and the year one pass. The ultimate edition includes year one pass and 4 exclusive style packs. Um, and then the 100+ games. What the fuck is this? Get unlimited access to 100+ PC games. I don't know.
Oh, that's for their
Ubisoft Plus.
yeah, their Ubisoft Plus.
So you
They're
can
like
sign up for Ubisoft Plus and just play it.
yeah,
Okay.
it's like their EA Play type thing.
Okay, it's be Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, PS5, Epic Game Store for PC, Ubisoft Store for PC, and Ubisoft Plus.
God, they're
And you can only pre-order the physical edition right now. You can't pre-order the digital edition. This
yeah,
is very interesting.
Huh.
Huh. And we don't have a date for it at all.
Give me a second. Yeah, I
So
don't.
for people out there that don't know this either,
They,
this is like
oh,
oh, go ahead.
it was going to release on February 25th, and then it got pushed back to just sometime in 2021.
Yeah.
So
Maybe they will make this free to play eventually.
maybe.
I don't know.
I
You can
I
pre-order it
think
now, so probably not.
the their payment model for this could make or break this game easily. I think
Yeah.
that's going
Well,
to be
it's
a
such a cool idea, right? I mean, it's
it
a
is cool, yeah.
downhill battle royale like X Games essentially, which is
Mm-hmm.
brilliant. So you have 50 players simultaneously live on the screen. Different multiplayer modes, right? PvP events, 6v6 teams, online cups. Like this is huge. So
Yeah, I think
I
there's a lot of
mean,
potential here, but I also thought there was a lot of potential in Destruction All Stars. So,
that's correct. Yep. I mean, it's
and
this.
boy, did that let me down.
Yep. Biking, snowboarding, skiing, and wingsuit gliding.
Yeah, and I think as long as I think the best thing they could do for this is to honestly make it a free to play game and then do a battle pass system for it, or make it like a fucking $5 or $10 game.
What's
Because I
incredible?
think they're gonna turn a lot of people away if they try to release this as a full pop game and then still put a battle pass in it. Yeah, COD can get away with it, but I mean
Well, that's what they're doing.
Fallout. Well, yeah,
It
yeah, no,
sucks.
I know,
Yeah.
but I think they would be so much better off to be a free to play game.
Oh yeah, and then do the
Look at
yes. Agreed.
like a Fortnite. I mean, makes a absolute killing off that free to play game, and because people are buying battle pass and skins and things like that.
Oh my
Granted,
god,
this
yeah,
is
the
not going
amount
to
of
hit that level
well, you
of
imagine the skins on this if they did free to play, and you could be like a
yeah,
stupid like inflatable hot dog riding a
yeah,
bike down, whatever.
or even meet in the middle and do like a $30 release, and then
Yeah,
you could do the battle pass, and people wouldn't complain nearly as much about
no,
it. I mean,
or like a
but that was one thing
14.99
that killed EA's, or was it EA or Ubisoft that released
Ste
Rocket
Steep.
Rocket Arena?
Oh, Rocket Arena.
That was EA.
Yeah, it was EA.
And that's what killed that game initially, was because the game launched at full pop, I think, and then they dropped it down to a permanent price decrease of down to $20, I think, and now it's like free. I don't even know. But
What?
that's going to be a huge thing that could ruin this game if they release it at full pop and don't have enough content and then still try to get a battle pass out of it, and
What's
especially when it is kind of a
crazy?
weird like party game type of deal.
What's crazy about this too is I'm just sharing my screen with people, but like the this year one pass, it doesn't note anything about different tracks. It's
Right.
just simply bikes and gear. That's dumb.
But that's the thing. I mean, most of these battle passes are cosmetic items.
Yeah, yeah, I
Oh.
get it, but I mean, I just like
But the tracks are probably going to be free. That way they don't split the player base, which is smart. They figured that out through a couple. I don't remember which game kind of really started to do that, but I think Call of Duty has released most of them free. That way they don't split the player base, because that used to be a huge issue back in like 360 days. Like Call of Duty would come out with an expansion, and now all of a sudden you can't play with half your friends because they're playing on the new maps and you didn't
yep,
have them.
yep.
So I think that's wise to, if you're going to do a battle pass, make it to where it's cosmetic stuff, because people have proven they love cosmetic stuff and they'll still pay for it. I mean, I've paid for plenty of it. So yeah, it's interesting. And I think, again, how they handle this could really make or break this game, just from a financial standpoint of how they handle the actual purchase of the game and purchase of the battle pass.
We'll have to see how this one does. Man, I really hope they do this right.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah,
I
me as
just
well.
really want a game like this.
The controls are also going to be
It also looks like
critical
it's
for a game like this.
okay. It'll also be on Windows PC, like Windows Store and Stadia. They have like little stuff hidden in here
Yeah,
where
it's
it's
not
it's
laid out
not
very well.
listed. So it'll be on Stadia. There you go. There's that. It's
There's
just
that.
just not noted, but it's putting this little legal statement here about Windows PC and Stadia. So cool, great, wow, and they have like partners listed under here. Epic Games. Holy shit, going
Huh.
all in. Interesting, 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 interesting. We will see. With that, anything else on your end before we close this show out?
I do not believe so. I think I'm all good.
For me, Leafs are in the playoffs. Let's go, baby. Let's go, buds. And
I'll point out my shirt again too.
oh yeah, go for it. Yeah, yeah. That's a good.
Go
That's a
listen
good
to
team as well.
our friends
WSD
WASD and beyond.
Beyond. Not to be confused with Beyond. PlayStation Podcast.
Right.
By IGN. No affiliation whatsoever. They're way better.
No.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, what else? Is there anything else, housekeeping-wise, anything that we forgot? I don't think so. I think we nailed this one out pretty good.
So.
Okay, so really, we should be getting into the weeks ahead now of crazy rumors, crazy news coming out, and just weird shit dropping left, right, and center. So I'm excited. And then we'll be getting into our Hell Week, which is E3 week.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be even crazier this time around as well. And we will live stream those events, as well as also probably do some react videos as well for those events as well, that are at like weird hours. But I think they're all supposed to be at pretty decent hours. Like all around like that, I think most of them we 6 or 7-ish, I think, around Eastern time, something like that.
Yeah.
With some of them going later. So, but yeah. So we'll have to do our prediction show eventually as well in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, we'll probably have to do that recorded early because I'll be out of town that first week of June.
Oh yeah, so and then you'll be back just in time for Hell Week.
Yeah, maybe we'll release the week right before. There's an idea.
Maybe the week you're out, I'll have the WSAD boys on. We can all have a little takeover of Diggity.
Yeah,
be like NXT takeover.
The week when we're both out of town one week, we should just let them have the fucking show and see what happens.
Oh Jesus! We'll come back to just like shit on fire. What happened? What happened to everybody?
Oh man,
I don't know. I think we could probably do something from Vegas.
I'm sure we could. Pack a mic. They don't take up much room.
I know. One of my friends stayed at the Cosmo in Las Vegas, and he brought his camera with him, and he does some YouTube stuff and like some professional like camera work. And they kicked him out of his room because they thought he was gonna film a porno in it. And it was like, like he had like the tripod and everything and all this shit. And evidently, I guess all the pornos are filmed at the Cosmo.
That's kind of awesome.
It's kind of awesome. It's also kind of disgusting if you stay at the Cosmo. Well,
yeah.
There's a solid chance you're staying in a room where a porno is filmed. Too funny. But, we'll figure out something for Vegas. We could give the people some pretty sweet stuff, I think.
Yeah. We'll figure something out.
We'll just sit on the edge of the Grand Canyon and record.
I'll be fucked if I'm sitting on the edge of the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, let's make a pact on that nobody does that. We're not going to be those people. You know what I'm talking about? Like the fucking mom and kids that go out and stand on the edge and then some dumbass falls into the canyon every year. Yeah,
no, I'm pretty good.
You can't get me 30 feet to that fucking thing. I'll literally stand 30 feet back from that and be like, "You want to get a better view? I got it from here. I'm fucking good. I am not." I'll stand 30 back and stand on a fucking ladder before I get close to that shit. I'm not going near that. No. I mean, it's how did it get bigger? It fucking crumbled upon itself. Why would I stand on the edge of it?
I know my luck. I'm not testing those boundaries.
Yeah, screw that, man. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening. Again, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Diggity Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Join us live every Thursday, 9:30 Eastern on YouTube and Twitch. Subscribe to our podcast if you haven't already. And tell your friends. We're available on every single major podcast platform. You name it, my man. We are on it. Spotify, Pandora. We on it now. We on it. Oof. Cephalopod, Podchaser, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Breaker FM, CastPod, Radio
Castbox.
Public. God, there's so many. Stitcher.
There are a ton.
God, there's a shit ton of them. But yeah, so we're on all of those. It's great. And you can find me on PlayStation. My PSN name is Maple Jeff.
And mine is Luscious Brody. And if you would like to play some Monster Hunter Rise, hit me up for that friend DM code.
Woo! Also, DM us on Twitter at Diggity Podcast if you have any questions for the show. Because
Yeah.
I think I'd like to start doing like a little question period at like the middle section of the show. I think maybe we should put like a tweet out before we go live and see if there's any questions, and then see. Go with that.
I'm down. Yeah.
Or put some
Down
stupid
for
poll out.
questions.
Some really dumb poll. Ask some dumb questions. Get some great answers. Until next time, guys. We'll see you later. Stay safe. Looks like we're almost at the end of this thing. And until next time, we will see you.